Hi everybody. In this video session we are going to talk about one very important concept of database management system. In case of database management system, generally we are going to solve the issues of databases, handling of databases, in the databases how the tables are going to sort out. For that generally people are going to use SQL, but when that database is a very big database or a heavy database or a complex problem is there, in that case we are going to use this programming language concept that is known as a procedural language and a programming language. So PL SQL, it means a procedural language or a programming language. SQL means structured query language. PL is just an extension of a SQL by adding programming constraints. Means whenever you are going to solve any complex issue, then you are not able to solve that issue just by writing queries. In that case you need to write the programs. So when you are going to write the programs, for writing the programs you need to write a program with this concept of variables, types of variables, control structures, subprograms. Because whenever your program is complex, whenever you want to solve any tasks, so you need to take the issue of a control structure like if else, loops, while loops. So everything you need to include in that program. So that's why we said this is a very important part of our PL SQL structures. So we already know it is an advanced version, because basically when you are going to write solve any query or solve any task, so you are going to write that queries in form of only SQL. So we said this PL SQL is a Oracle proprietary, means ownership is in hand of Oracle. Like if we are going to talk about a Windows, so in case of Windows, ownership is in hand of Microsoft, like that. So integration of SQL, we already said that whenever you want to solve any query, you are going to write the queries first, basic part of queries in form of SQL. Portable with Oracle database, because Oracle database is always at a back end. At a front end, whether you are going to write the queries in SQL or whether you are going to write the queries with PL, that's your part, that depend upon the task. Callable from any client, means client is anybody at the front end and PL SQL is always at the back end. So that's why they said it is a part of Oracle, right? So SQL is a structured query language, that is just a declarative language, like a English kind of a language. We said a basic English language is this, and in this case if you want to solve any issue, we said what to do. We are not concerned here how to do, we are just concerned ki what the process we need to follow and what is the task we need to solve. But when we are shifted to a PL SQL, we said, because we know it is a stored procedural language, it is a programming language, we know, we are saying ki yes, whatever task is there, we said what to do and how to do. So that is the very important part in case of PL SQL, right? Suppose I want to discuss in that case as an example. So suppose our example is that we want to go for a sum of two numbers, right? So I just want to add two numbers. So I know ki in this case I said I want to declare. So I know I want two numbers, so first I need to declare one number as a variable, other number as a variable. So that is the first requirement. So you are going to declare it and then you tell the procedure for the sum of that two numbers. So then you are going to write a formula that C is equal to A plus B. So that's why it's mandate in case of PL SQL that you are going to first declare the variables, tell the type of that variables, then put the values. Like I said, if I want to write A is 10 and B is 10, right? So that is the first part, and then you need to tell the procedure how to get the sum of these two numbers. So that is the next part. What are the different elements in case of PL SQL? So different elements. So what are the different elements when you want to write a program? So what elements we need to consider? That is conditions, because whenever we want to solve any task, so maybe there is a requirement for a condition. Loops, it always allow the declaration of constants, because when you are going to talk about any table, so in that case of table you always need a heading of that table or a column name of that table. So that's why we are going to talk about a constants, then variables, that is very very important, like a previous example, procedures, because if you want to add two numbers, so you need to tell the procedure how to add that two numbers. Functions, so that no need to write again and again a same program. If you want to add two different numbers, three different numbers, so you are going to write a one function. So types, variables, that are the major requirements of a PL/SQL. So in case of PL/SQL, function is there, procedure is there, trigger is there, and a cursor is there. So function and procedure is a very very basic part of a PL/SQL. So when you are going to write a program, there is a one structure to write a program. That structure is known as a block structure. So PL/SQL is known as a one kind of a language that is handled with a block structured kind of a language. So this basic unit of PL/SQL is a block. So when you are going to solve any assignment, solve any tasks, you are going to write a one block. So your code is always written in small block. That's why we say small sub programs. So these blocks can be nested. So suppose there are multiple conditions in a one block, so then in that case we need to go for a nested concept. So typically each block performs a logical unit of work. So these blocks can be named with the functions, procedures, or anonymous blocks. So what are the different sections of a block? First is known as a header section, second is known as a declarative section, third is known as a executive section, and fourth is known as a exception handling section. So these are the four major sections of a block of a PL/SQL. So whenever you are going to write any program, you need to follow these section rules. So like I want to write a one block for a one assignment, for a one task. So in that case I need to first go for a declaration. Like a previous example, I want to go for a sum of two numbers. So for that I need two numbers. So that two numbers I have considered as A and B, right? So then after declaration of these variables, I need to define the type of that variables, right? So I have specified there that two numbers are integer numbers. So then you need to execute that block, right? So in case of execution, the mandate rule is you are going to write that with the rule of begin and end. That is the mandate part, right? And this exception handling is for the part of errors. Okay, whatever errors are there in that case, so you are going to solve that errors in case of exception handling. So that is the rule to write a block in case of PL/SQL. So like in this case, if I want to write a similar example, so I am going to write here, suppose begin, whatever statements I want to write here, so then you are going to end that by writing a end, right? And whenever you are going to write something, so we are going to write like this: begin A 10, right? This is decimeter, that is the mandate as a default decimeter. Then B as a 10. Then I am going to write a rule A plus B, and then I need to write a end. So this is a part of a executive block where your value is going to pass to a other section. So as a part of a structure, we already know, we said first we need to define a header, that is a type and a name of a block. Then declarative, where you specify its variables, constants, cursors. Then you are going to talk about execution block, where you are going to write a different PL/SQL or SQL statements, execute that statements. And then the next part is known as the exception handling, where you are going to specify whether it's a exit, whether it's a continue, that depend upon the requirement, and then you are going to end that part. So in case of block section, they said as a part of execution section, so as a part of execution section and exception handling, in case of execution section, you need to talk about flow control commands, because already we said here, okay, in this case we are going to write all the flow control commands, all the queries we need to write in case of execution section. So same here, we are going to just write the commands and assign the values. Like here we assign the values, whatever variables you need to consider, you are going to assign the values. And as an exception handler, it is a customized error handling. That's why I previously said, okay, whether you are going to specify it exit, whether you are going to specify as a continue, that depend. So as a part of block types, because we know PL/SQL is a part of a block, so there are various types. So first is an anonymous block. So under anonymous block, that is not going to be stored in Oracle. It is executed only once, and it is useful for testing purposes. Second, as a named block, that block is with a name. It is also executed only once, but a function and a procedure is the example of this named block. So we know as per talking about sections, we know there are few sections, and in these sections executable section is a mandatory section, but declaration section and exception handling is just a exceptional optional part. It's not a mandate part. So we know that when you are going to write a query, when you are going to write a program, this delimiter is a very, very important part in this case. So if I am going to talk about a delimiter as a part of a SQL, so generally in case of SQL, every query is terminated by a semicolon. That is a default delimiter. We are not going to change it, but if you want to change it, so you need to specify it before writing that query, otherwise it will give the error. But that is the case in case of MySQL. So you need to specify that yes, I want to change this delimiter from this semicolon to this / to like this. So you need to specify and then you use it, otherwise it will give the error. But in case of PL/SQL, so it's mandate to declare. Like we said, in case of SQL, it's not mandate to declare, but in case of PL/SQL, it's mandate to declare a delimiter at the start of the program. Otherwise, it will give the error. If I am not going to define before the start of the program, it will give the error. So that is the other difference between PL/SQL and SQL. It always interpret each and every line. Delimiter is mandate, like this example. Okay, we are going to write a basic query for a database, that is create a database, use a database, right, and then check that database. So everywhere you write a basic default delimiter, because this is simple a concept of a MySQL. But wherever I am going to shift it to a PL/SQL, so you need to specify a specified kind of a delimiter. Like here I have specified a delimiter as a /, right. So this / delimiter means you are going to use this delimiter after the end. This means if you are going to write these lines in an executable block, that lines are terminated by a default delimiter, but this end you are going to terminate it with this delimiter. So the difference between these two lines, that means here you are going to just terminate a query, and here you are going to terminate the procedure that you have created here. Because in case of PL/SQL, we said we are going to create a procedure, we are going to use the functions. So that procedure and function is going to end by a specified kind of a delimiter. If I am going to use here a default delimiter as a semicolon, then it's not possible to end that procedure with that delimiter. So like this I have written here, it indicates that not the end of a procedure, but if I have written this, so means it's the end of the procedure. So this is a one of the example. I have specified that delimiter is this kind of a delimiter begin all the statements that are end with the semicolon, and this end is terminated with this specified delimiter specifically for the end of the procedure. So this is the one of the example. So this is a just a one of the explanation of a delimiter, PL/SQL, how it is different from a normal SQL. So in the next video we are going to discuss about exception handling, how we are going to use that exception handling, and how we are going to write the queries, how you are going to solve a query program in case of PL